Okay, I want to update you guys before this even starts. I'm watching this video by the character sheet. Heard some wild stuff about the episode, about the things I missed. Whew. So I hear how they're splitting up in the groups. They're doing like a soldiers, seekers, whatever, unless that was his own words, but there's going to be a group. Like, okay, just everything I said, like about how they're going to divide the tables up, disregard. I'm kind of figuring it out now, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. But everything else that happened in the episode that I missed when I fell asleep, insane. All right, I'll let you guys get on the video. Enjoy. Y'all see Sam right now? Look at this shit.
When I hear battle maps, I think of one thing: fitness.
Sam's ad reads are something else, or sponsor reads, whatever. Just they are something else. They still continue to be something else. But thank you guys for tapping back into the frequency. Remember to be your authentic self, love yourself, and spread that kindness around to others. And yeah, I'm gonna have my intro flip a little bit more, and we're gonna have it more punchy and to the point. But welcome, you guys. Now, so here's what I got. Way neater handwriting. I did it in small text this time. I'll show the camera. Small text, nice and neat. But alas, like halas, I fell asleep. I fell asleep because, man, with the work I got to do during the day, I cannot be staying up that late till 2 a.m. Almost makes me wish that they did the live sessions at 8 p.m. But I get it, a little late night thing. I don't really actually know the origin of why they stream it so late. But hey, nonetheless, it's still cool to catch the episodes when I can. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just make campaign 4 videos talking about moments I find absolutely just mind-blowing, right? And then, you know, aside from that, if you guys want to see anything specific or ask me about any certain moments within the comments, you can just go back to the previous video that I filmed on campaign 4, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I definitely don't mind. But I'm just glad to be enjoying this campaign. Oh my gosh. So many conversations today. I feel like my mind is like, ooh, like a whole mixed bag of everything. And now I'm filming so late all these videos. But yeah, I'm just glad to be enjoying this campaign with you guys so far. And I watched a YouTuber, forgive me, I cannot remember his name, who talked about, you know, the first 4 episodes of the campaign are kind of like the prologue. I don't know if that really maps out for all of the campaigns, because, like, you know, it may vary for how long it takes to really get introduced and really get a vibe for each character. Honestly, I feel like for everyone, their prologue for a campaign or their entry is a little bit different for everybody, because some of us have to let the characters grow on us a little bit more. Like for me, for example, for campaign 3, I think the prologue lasted all the way until the end. And I'm just joking. I didn't warm up. I did like the moments where legacy characters came back and were involved in campaign 3, though. I think I skipped around to see that stuff. But so far, I've been watching through and through, not skipping any moments of this campaign, and I'm enjoying it so far. But yeah, so for now, I'm just going to watch along, but I'm going to talk about the moments I have written down here, and then I'm going to talk about some other stuff. Also, if anyone wants to explain West Marches more to me, I got my pal Purple, who's about to, by the way, I'm about to play my first one shot. Let's go. A first official one. Yeah, you guys can DM me on Instagram too if you ever want to set up a one shot and just get stuff going and teach me more things, because I love the realm of D&D. But nonetheless, yeah, so here's the moments that I enjoyed that I didn't miss from falling asleep. I'm just going to read them out, and then I'm going to talk about each one individually. But we got Travis rolls a 5, then says, bitch. Sir Felonius, with wrath and judgment, the doggos. The dogs singing confuses spellcasters and sounds angelic. Then the perception roll against Matt with 2 natural 19s. Travis saying, not a competition. Sam's exercise ad, which you've seen. Lord Primus Taconis almost. Oh yeah, Lord Primus Taconis almost bodies Murray. So here's the funny thing I learned, and I may have said this in the last episode. I realized Marisha's name is Marisha Ray, right? So she put Murray in the name. I thought that was cool. I don't know if the correlation is there, like she did that on purpose. But also Primus Taconis. I am so slow that this is Octus's father. I don't know how that went over my head. And then I was like, oh, duh, Octus is going out and disguising himself. Fucking obviously. But might I have to add before we continue, I love Brennan's DMing style. Man, I loved it during Calamity, but I'm seeing how he like carries the story so far right now in the world of Armand. And man, I don't know. I just enjoy his DMing style. I think Matt really knew what he was doing when he passed the torch. Not that my personal opinion wouldn't even known what a real good DM or bad DM is. I guess it really chalks it up to like the storytelling and everything, how they make it all flow together. But I mean, Brennan, it gives me almost the same feeling as Matt, but you know, different GMs, different styles are going to be so different. But honestly, Brennan feels right in line with the campaign, at least in how I came into Critical Role, right? But I want to talk about that Wes Marches style for a second, because that YouTuber I also watched talked about fan concerns, or, you know, the core fans that were around in the past talking about like the feeling that isn't really there, or it died off a certain time for them. And I'll come back to that, but because I actually want to talk about that. But I have Laura Ball Chop Intimidation Check, Laura Bagged and Sealed, Brennan Nat 20 Binding Down Wolfric, the Crow Keeper's only using fists unarmed. Oh yeah, I wrote that down because I was like, that's interesting. Ashley smashes window and comes in hot. Ashley rolls a 2, brought it to a 7, but then brought it back with a natural 20. Ashley catches the first body of the campaign, not counting Thiazi, which I would chalk up to Sir Julian Davenos for getting the dude caught. But yeah, and Ashley killed another man. Dark Guiding Bolt straight to the chest. And that's what we have. That's what I wrote down. Now, what I realized is I definitely could be, if I wanted to, one of these creators who just pays attention to every single hour and knocks it all down. But I watch so much different content on YouTube. You guys, if you're, you know, a veteran of the channel, you already hear me say this. So I know to the people who are familiar with my game over here, I'm not going to be able to make a too in-depth review of each chapter, but I definitely want to let y'all know I am watching along. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time, because for me, I do have that same feel from campaign 2, and we'll see where it goes from here, you know, but I do understand some of the fans' concerns. But dude, you guys, let me actually, I need my book back. That moment with Tayor was funny. And I don't think I wrote down. No, I did. I love that moment between Tayor and Sir Julian Davenos. I love how Matt is playing this dude. It's freaking awesome. And Sir Felonius and bringing in the dogs was really a cool moment for me, because I was like, whoa, like Brennan's really building this, like really building the world through little interactions like that. Like we're getting more, you know, information about Wikander's house, and just like what sorts of, I almost want to say the dogs as in divine technological advancement. Like we're getting an insight into what these houses are really packing, you know? And even Lord Primus Taconis almost bodying Murray was when she tested his gangster. And then he was like, Brennan was like, oh, was it a wisdom saving throw for me? And then he was like, you feel like you don't see him do anything, but you feel like a chill or something. And then what was it that Brennan said? He said, you have a feeling that whatever he was about to do to you, or whatever reached out to you and touched your psyche, you would have had to make a wisdom saving throw or some sort of check at the start of every turn. Like, well, for the rest of the campaign, what? I was like, I love how Brennan's style is. It definitely made me go, I was sitting here like, so I love it. And then Laura going in the dude's pants and everything. And You know, what had me weak was when Brennan played the guy that like when she said, you know, I'll saw his balls off. It was like, that's going to be hard to do with a sewing needle. But then I was like, imagine if she said pierce. Yeah, I don't have to finish that statement. Imagine piercing. But I thought that was funny. And then I thought it was really, really cool how Ashley came in. I don't want to glaze over Cadigan's moments and Octus's little moments, but I thought Ashley's introduction, and I think Velas, it is hands down. She's playing like another cold character. Not to say Yasha was cold. Yasha was more like woman of few words, but badass, you know? Like, and even like they showed in the trailer, the wings, metal, this whole theme. I liked Yasha, but Velas feels like just Ashley in her prime with role playing a character. I'm loving it, and just that censor and everything. I think it's just so solid. It's so solid. But yeah, aside from that, and Tayor being basically set up, more information about Sid and Casimir and all of this is it's really going to be crazy. I can't wait to just keep seeing it unfold. I can't wait to go back and see what I missed from the other half of the episode. And I think the last thing I'll say here and let you guys go, because I don't really have much for you, is that YouTuber I was watching, I see what the fans are saying, like when, at least with the West Marches style, or however they're going to do it, where they break off into individual groups. And then like, how long is it going to take? Are we going to have like a certain group we're watching for like a few episodes and it switches to another group? Is it still going to be this thing where they're switching all the time during the session? Like, how is it going to break off? Because I don't know too much about West Marches. I don't know if West Marches is literally that style of play. Purple tried to explain it to me, but I still don't think I got it. And after that, I watched that video, it confused me a little more, because how my brain is registering what West Marches is that it's these breakaway groups, or how they're doing it. But one thing I will say is I can see why that's off-putting, because it's true. I mean, if they break off into 4 groups, I guess it'll vary from everyone, but there's going to be like the least favorite group and the favorite group. And I get how that moved away from the core of these feeling like our nerdy best friends and the DM to guide us. I really do get that. It's like, I think that's what was the charm for campaign 2 for me. And when, you know, all the critters were coming in, the videos coming in hot, showing me the trailers of Vox Machina coming, someone who was very lovely. I hope they're doing well out there. Don't worry, I've never forgot you. I don't remember names well unless you're constantly in my face, but I remember each and every one of you. But the person who gave me like the early access to watch Vox Machina, all of it, I remember all these moments. And I think the true love I had for the series in the beginning, or campaign 2 also, was that it was, you know, Laura, Travis, Matt, Liam, Taliesin, Ashley, am I forgetting Marisha? Am I forgetting anyone? I don't know. Matt, Laura, Travis, Matt, Marisha, that'll help. Ashley, Liam, Taliesin, 7. I'm not missing anyone, right? It's usually 7. I gotta double check. I feel like I'm scared, and I feel like I'd be letting the critters down. Hang on. I was forgetting Sam. Sam was the last one, but Sam. Because I said I'm like, no, there's 8. I'm missing someone. And of course I missed one of the, like, in my opinion, the best entertainers of the group. They're all really good, but Sam takes it away with he's like chaos in a different way. It's like if we use Jester as a metric, Sam is like his own Jester. No, but Not was very, very chaotic. Yeah, but all of them, you know, and I get it, because when I was introduced to the series from everyone, you know, and all of you out there who may still be watching, may be new people, but at least to my OGs on the channel, I do get why that would scare away a lot of the older fan base from Critical Role, or not even scare, just be off-putting. I'm just using the word scare off, but you know, it just may be like a loss of interest, is that the core isn't there, the core group. And I noticed that. I did notice that, because I was thinking about that with campaign 4. I feel like all of them fit pretty well, but definitely if they break off to these breakaway groups and they and I'm just going to be vulnerable, transparent with you guys. If they break away into these break off groups where we have to watch a certain group for a certain amount of episodes, I think purely based on Brennan's DMing and how the characters have interacted with each other so far, I'll continue to watch to give it a chance. You got to give something a chance, right? You know, sometimes I have an intuitive feeling when something isn't for me, but I'll give it a chance because of how this campaign has opened. But also, I remember during campaign 3, I can't lie, and I'm not going to say anything specific about any specific players. Again, I have respect and, a deep respect for everyone being the creators that they are and how they've gotten to the position where they are. I'm a freaking clown. Right after I say I'm not going to say anyone specific, I go right ahead and say somebody specific. I'm just going to say there's been moments where there's been guest characters where I've even told Purple. So I always reference Purple. I reference Purple because Purple is one of the people from just this whole adventure I've been on with D&D and Critical Role that has just been here from the start. So, always have love for Purple. But yeah, man, I've always told Purple, like, if I see certain guest characters or episodes, I'd just be like, okay, when does it go back to the original group? Or, it happened with campaign 3. I feel like there was a lot more guest characters in campaign 3. I don't know, that could be wrong, than campaign 2. But, even with campaign 2, sometimes when a guest character came in, I had to really feel it out. But then depending on who it may be or whatever, I had to turn it off. And now I'm kind of like, oh man, campaign 4 with Brennan is really good. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to miss big chunks, because it felt like in the past when I guess I wouldn't miss big chunks. I would just get a breakdown from any YouTuber doing a breakdown. So that's why I have to say right now, oh my gosh, many blessings to the creators who are taking each episode and bringing it down. I have to shout out this one. Is it Lubofin? Is that her channel? Oh, there's this one girl that does breakdowns. Yes, Lubofin. I don't know, but shout out to her. I'll show her channel right here. I got to show her channel. Hold on. Really, really quickly. Right here. Yeah. Right here. I've watched these with my girlfriend because my girlfriend is absolutely lost, but she loves the character design. She's a graphic designer, but more than that, more of an overall artist over than what officially the title graphic designer is. But she absolutely loves the character designs. And she's like, they have to make a show with these characters because they're just downright badass. And that's kind of why I'm like, yes, like I want this campaign to be really good. And I wanted to even win the hearts of people who may have left Critical Role a long time ago watching them. And that's why I'm saying, like, I hope the breakaway groups and everything are just managed well, because I mean, look, I'm not going to lie, and I don't want to be mean. If there's a group of like Cadigan, okay, never mind. It's not necessarily being mean. It's just my preference, but I don't know if anyone's going to take that the wrong way. I just have my preference. I'd rather like to see literally it be, now that Matt's a player, I would have loved 100% that there's just like an episode where it's Matt, Travis. One episode may not be enough, but Matt, Travis, Sam, Liam, etc., Laura, Ashley, just Marisha, all, like the main group that played together with Brendan as the DM. Not to count out Robbie as Cadigan, not to count out Abria, not to count out Octus, Tyranny, and Luis. I think that's his real name. Luis. Like, I love Luis in I just got a subscriber. What? Luis in Calamity. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the thing. So yeah, I don't know. I get why some of the fan base may have went away for that feeling as well. Because yeah, when they go into breakaway groups, I have a sneaking suspicion that there's gonna be lower views. Just fact check me in the future, because usually my intuition is right. Like I predicted the end of campaign 2, which is insane. But I started, fun fact, I started predicting, I'm not trying to do any like brownie points for me, like, oh, toot my own horn, but I was predicting some things to come from campaign 4 already that have been popping off true. So I'm like, oh man, this is the campaign. But fact check me in the future. I feel like you will notice a view difference when the main cast is not on camera. And I know somebody could just be like, well, yeah, I mean, go figure. The people love the main cast, like Matt and everybody. But I'm just saying that kind of tells you something. But not anything bad. I'm just saying. I get it now. I get why some people were concerned about, you know, this West Marches style, if that's the whole breakaway group thing. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, nonetheless, Brennan's doing a great job. Everybody's doing really awesome. The last moment I remember was like Abria and Liam's whole moment. I don't remember where they were, but with the really old orc who was there before. Was he before the war with the gods and the mortals and all that, and remembers the time before all of that? That was a really nice section. I think I conked out after that, but I'm enjoying it. You know, you guys let me know what you think down below, and yeah, I will make a video if anything has me like jaw dropping. And for the time being, I'm going to get back to the other videos that I need to make. Love y'all. I'm done. Much love and Moonlight. Peace.